Welcome back to Literally What. I hope everyone had the best week ever and you guys have plans for an amazing weekend. If you didn't, it's okay because I'm here now to make sure that this is the best day and best 45 minutes to an hour-ish of your life of this week, I guess. I will tell you, it is a very special day for me, one of the best days of the year so far because it is officially my birthday. So yes, you may now sing happy birthday to me wherever you were listening or watching this episode from. And thank you for that. You sound gorgeous with that voice. But yeah, it's my birthday, another year. And I'm ready to see what the age I just turned has for me in store. So I want to first talk about birthdays a little bit because I love birthdays. I love my birthday. It is in the top 3 favorite days of the year for me. And I just need to talk about birthdays because I don't think they're talked about enough. I mean, they are, but I feel like I need to give my stance on birthdays and why you should love your birthday as much as I love my birthday. Birthdays. Okay. Birthdays are the one day a year where you can be all about yourself. You can be extra, you can be selfish, I guess. And I feel like in society, it is looked down upon when you talk about yourself a lot or if you're just like so about yourself and so extra and blah, 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 blah. But on your birthday, guys, this is your time. This is the day where you can be as extra as you want. And as I've gotten older, I feel like I've just become a lot more extra. I go all out for certain things. That's just because I don't really care anymore. I don't care what people think of me. But especially on my birthday, I like to go all out. And I'm probably the person that other people hate on their birthday because if you do not wish me a happy birthday, you are on a list. You're on a list. And I hate that it has to be that way. But it's just how it is. Like, it's the one day of myself and you're not even going to take the time to say happy birthday to me. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm totally kidding, but like not really at all. But yeah, especially people who, don't love the attention or don't love talking about themselves or just aren't super extra. Like, I need you to be extra on your birthday. It's when everyone in your life and who loves you comes together to celebrate you and tell you how much that they love you. Everyone is so special. And the fact that everyone on this earth gets a day to themselves, to celebrate another year and just like be with people who that they love. And I just think that birthdays are so special and people should treat their birthdays differently than I see people celebrating their birthdays. So the 2 reasons why I love birthdays. Number 1, like I've said, you can be extra. I literally have a cake baking downstairs that I am using as a prop for an Instagram picture for my birthday. And guess what? No one can tell me I'm being too crazy because it's my birthday. And who's going to be mean to the birthday girl? Because that is like the bitchiest move ever. Yes, they might like text their friend like, why is she doing that? But it's my birthday, so you really can't say anything except happy birthday to me. So yeah, you can be extra. And I love that. And, now that I'm 24, I am in my way extra phase. Like, I just feel like I'm way more extra than I ever have been before, and I can do that because it's my birthday and like no one can stop me. And the second reason, and this is going to be the crazy part of me, is I love seeing who wishes me a happy birthday that is so out of far left field that I never thought this person would wish me a happy birthday. And every year I come up with like a list of that would be crazy if this person texted me, or like this person is definitely not going to wish me a happy birthday. And it's just fun to see. And yes, that does sound crazy, but like it's okay because it's my birthday, so I can act crazy. And when you 360 that, there's also the people who are in your life that you think are going to wish you a happy birthday, and then when they don't, it really makes you take a step back and be like, what is going on? So it's just funny to me to see who wishes me a happy birthday and who doesn't wish me a happy birthday. And yeah, like if you don't wish me happy birthday, I'm probably not going to wish you a happy birthday either, even if I love you to death. But everyone who cares about me and I care about always does. So never an issue. I'm sounding so bitchy on this podcast. I'm telling you, like my birthday, I just become a whole different person. My husband, his birthday, he doesn't really care as much, but I care a million times more for him. And then I make his birthday like super fun and just like, I just love birthdays, and you should too, because you are amazing and special and deserve this one day to celebrate yourself and have everyone celebrate you and be all about you. Be selfish on your birthday, be extra on your birthday, and I will help you if you want help on how to be extra. So now that I am off my soapbox, and I will quit the birthday talk now and get into all of the gossip, it is time. You have made it past my little speech, so let's get into some hot gossip, hot take, stories, and advice that will have you saying literally what. I just realized that my lights were not on, so I apologize, but they're back on if you're watching this on YouTube. Okay, as you guys know, during the week, thoughts pop into my head that I have to share with you. So I have my little bullet points of things that I need to tell you guys, because it's important, you know? So first thing is, you guys know how the New York Times like has Wordle, and they have a new, I don't know if it's new, but it's called Connections. And so it's like 4x4, so like 16 little boxes, and then you have to group them in like 4 groups, and they have to like all be like the same thing or have to do with one like topic. And so me and Chandler do it like every night now. It is so difficult. It's like the most random things, but I look forward to doing it every night, and it's so fun. So if you haven't done it yet, it's New York Times Connections. So much fun. It's very frustrating though, because like I think I've only gotten it one time, and every other time I just like totally fail, and it makes me feel stupid. But whoever comes up with the topics just has way too much time on their hands. But if you're looking for something to do besides Wordle, it's a lot of fun. Another thing is, I have found my new favorite dessert. So typically I'm not like a sweet tooth person. I don't really love sweets or desserts or anything like that. But on the rare occasion I am craving something sweet, I normally freeze a tub of like Cool Whip, and then I'll eat it out of the tub frozen, and it tastes like really good. It kind of, I guess it tastes like ice cream, but it's like 20 calories for like a little bit of it, and it's just like really good. But what I've been doing is putting it with oranges, and so it tastes like a creamsicle. So if you are looking for like a low cal dessert option at the end of the night, it's really good. I just get like a few cutie oranges and peel them, and then take it with a bite of Cool Whip, and it's delicious. So there you go. Something new. You learn something new here every week, every Saturday, you know? So stories of the week. There's a good bit of stories of the week. And I also will be doing Bachelor recap. I watched the first episode of The Bachelor, so I will be recapping that every week. And then we have our segment at the end where you guys basically can write in about anything. So we have 3 submissions that we will be getting into today. First story, I just want to talk about football in general, because this is a sports podcast now. Totally kidding, but I have to talk about it because y'all know my conspiracy of it's going to be Ravens and is it 49ers, who I thought is the other color? Now I'm forgetting my whole conspiracy theory, but the 2 people who I think are going to be in the Super Bowl are in the playoffs this week. So it is Chiefs and Ravens, and I swear if the Ravens do not win, please, I'm begging Lamar Jackson, is that his name? I am like, my whole TikTok is videos about him like, please win, blah blah blah. And it doesn't even have to do with the whole Taylor Swift thing. It genuinely just has to do with the fact that they beat the Dolphins, and they're honestly just annoying, and I hate their ketchup and mustard color uniforms, and like that's that. So I hope the Ravens win. And then I think it's the 49ers and Lions, and I think the 49ers are the ones that are supposed to move on because it's the red in the Super Bowl logo. So that will be on Sunday, tomorrow technically. And I'm so annoyed because I have a volleyball tournament all day Sunday. I'm going to be there from like 7 a.m. to like 8 or 9 p.m. So I won't even have a chance to watch it. And I was like, I kind of want to have my husband like save it on YouTube TV so that I can come home and watch it. You know how like dads do that? And then I was like, I'm literally acting like I am a father. Like, it's not that big a deal. I can just look up the score after. Plus, it'll probably be all over my social media. So I'm just going to have to get over the fact that I can't watch it and just watch the Super Bowl in real life time. Because I feel like if I'm not watching the games tomorrow in real time, then it's just not going to be as exciting, you know, as if it was pre-recorded. Do y'all remember like cable, like when we would record shows? Like I miss that. I hate now like streaming services. There's too many. I can't keep up. I watch too many shows on too many different platforms. Like, why is there not a centralized streaming service yet? Like, it's too expensive. I've had to like get rid of a ton of streaming services because it's so much money, and I hate the ads. So that's like extra money because I'm paying for like the premium or whatever. My favorite is probably Peacock, just because that has like The Office, which is like my favorite comfort show. It has Modern Family. It just has a lot of the shows that I watch. But I also have Hulu because I want to watch like The Bachelor. And then I did a subscription to YouTube TV to watch football, and it's just a whole thing. And everything is like so scattered. So there needs to be a centralized streaming place, please, because it's so frustrating and annoying. Okay. I guess we're going to rant for a second now, but I need a haircut. Obviously, my hair is so freaking long. I was like at volleyball practice and I'm like, my hair is almost onto my butt, and that is not okay. I like my hair longer, but that's just like too long, and my hair gets everywhere. I shed like a dog and it gets everywhere. And my husband was like, yeah, your hair that I'm finding everywhere is like double what it used to be. Like, this is really crazy. And I don't think that my hair grows that fast, but then it'll be like super long. But now that I'm down in Florida, I don't trust any other hair place except for my salon up in Georgia. So now I need to figure out how to get back up there to get a good haircut. But that's a whole truck, you know, that's a whole thing that I would have to plan a whole trip just to get a haircut. But like, hair is so important. Like, girls understand, like, finding a new spot is like too much work, especially when you find a spot that like they do your hair perfect and you love them and like it's not awkward. And I hate small talk, so going places where you know the people is like my favorite thing to do, because I don't have to small talk with new people and tell them about my life that no one really cares about. So that's my little what I've been dealing with and really frustrated with is the streaming services and trying to figure out where to get my hair cut. And I might just have to make the trip up to Georgia at some point or learn how to cut my own hair, but we all know that this is not going to turn out very well at all. So football, yes. Also, Buffalo Bills kicker. So I watched the Buffalo Bills game, and the kicker, Tyler Bass, he deactivated his social media after the game. So if you didn't watch the game, he missed one of the kicks. I think he missed a couple, but he missed like one that would, I think, send the game into overtime, and he deactivated all of his social media. And I want to say this, like, I understand that like the kicker's job, yes, he has one job to kick into the field goal, but there's also a whole other team of football players, and they make mistakes all the time, and you can't expect a kicker to be perfect every time. And I get it that like that's all he has to do, but I would love to see all of you guys get out there under all of the pressure and then kick it and miss. Especially, I didn't realize until I started talking to some people that there a lot more goes into the kick. Like, if there's wind, if the ball was thrown like weird to the kicker, then that's like off angle. So there's so much more that goes into it that I don't think we understand. And I think that if I was a professional football player, that would be the last position, last anything that I would want to do on the team, because it's just you. And I think of it in terms of volleyball, because I grew up playing volleyball. I coach volleyball. It's like, it's a team sport. And you know, the only thing you do by yourself is when you're getting up to serve. And so like you miss a serve, and then, you know, say you miss the serve, and then that's the game point because the other team gets the point. And then it's like everyone can be mad at you and everyone's probably annoyed, but it's like you had all those other points, you had all those other people who also made mistakes. It's a team effort. Like, football to me, it's a team effort. And like, I don't know, I feel bad that he has deactivated social media, because no one deserves that. And like, until you're a professional football player and you are a kicker and you get up there and are perfect every time, like, I don't think you have the right to get mad at someone else for messing up, because every other team, every other player, they messed up as well. And he unfortunately has the one job that is pretty much up to him and all eyes on him. I always feel so bad. Like, anytime a kicker, I don't care if it's the team I'm rooting against, anytime a kicker gets up, I really never watch it. And especially like when they miss, I never watch when they like record everyone's like reaction, because it's just so I just can't. And I feel so bad that he had to deactivate it, and probably feels like complete shit, and like I just can't imagine. So props to him. Like, I cannot do it. I know all of you watching this probably cannot do it either, so like cut him some slack. And I just feel very bad, but we will see what happens with the NFL. I think it's the playoffs on Sunday, and then it's Super Bowl. playoff conference title games. Okay, yeah. So Lions, 49ers. 49ers are going to win. Chiefs, Ravens. The Ravens are going to win as well. And then my conspiracy will be true and the NFL will officially be scripted. But why are the games so early? Like the Chiefs, Ravens are at 3 and then the other one's at 6:30. Like why can't they have pushed one to 8? Because then I could have watched it, or at least watched the other half. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the Super Bowl, unless the Super Bowl ends up being like Lions Chiefs, and then it's just like, what was all of my talk on my sports podcast all for? You know, like what was the point? So that's the football news. Hopefully these next couple games doesn't come down to a kick, because that's just too much for anyone to handle, I guess, and all the internet trolls can't handle it as well. So football news, you're welcome. We will be sure to check back in next Saturday. I guess, is next Saturday the Super Bowl weekend? Or do they get a week off? When is the Super Bowl? You're probably like, Taylor, how are you such a sports girl? You don't even know when the Super Bowl is. Because there's other things that are in my head that I think about all the time. And this is, okay, so they get a week off, it seems. Also, apparently, you guys know how Usher's doing the halftime show, and apparently he's bringing out will.i.am to sing one of the songs. So I will be very excited for that. All right, next story. Oscar nominations came out. Oh no, I have one more thing about football, another conspiracy. And you guys are going to hate me if you're not into conspiracies, but listen to this. So a lot of people think, I also think, that the NFL really wants to get the Chiefs into the Super Bowl just, you know, because of Taylor Swift, and it's going to pull a ton of attention and everyone's going to be tuning in. That goes against my whole 49ers Ravens Super Bowl and the logo. But anyway, so apparently one of the refs that they hired to do the Chiefs Ravens game, his name is Sean Smith. I'm looking at him all right here. And apparently he is known to always not make as many calls on the visiting team as the home team. So Chiefs are playing at the Ravens, and so basically everyone's saying that they picked this ref because he is going to make all the calls on the Ravens and not call on the Chiefs since they're the visiting team. And I was looking at some statistics from this guy and the games that he refs at. I think he started reffing in 2015. So numbers, and when you're looking at football data, it changes when he is a ref on the field. So the home team's win rate drops from 55.9% to 40.8%, and then the home team goes from covering the spread 50% to 37% of the time. And there are all of these referee analysis people looking at this and checking. So, you know, all I'm saying is they could have chosen from 8 different refs for this playoff game, and they chose him, and it's all these things coming out about him. And I swear if he starts doing all this crap on Sunday, So I'm putting this out there in the world so everyone is aware. So when you're watching this game on Sunday at 3 p.m. and he starts doing some sketchy little calls or not making calls, you can think back to this day and this podcast episode when I shared what was going to go down. So keep your eyes out, keep your ears out, and we cannot let the NFL get away with this. Mic is dropped, but I won't drop this mic. Now we can get into our Oscar nominations that came out, and there was a little bit of controversy again. There's controversy with everything. But let's go through a few of the nominations because it's just fun to see who got nominated. So we have, I don't know. Ooh, my stomach is not okay today. I forgot to take my vitamins. So that's probably, whenever I don't take my vitamins, and I was never a vitamins girl, but now I'm a vitamins girl, and everything, you know, is all smooth sailing. I feel a lot more energetic and better, but I haven't been taking them, and now I'm not okay. I haven't taken them for one day, and my body's rejecting me. Okay, so actors in a leading role, we have Bradley Cooper, Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright, Paul Giamatti, Coleman Domingo. I haven't seen 85% of these movies. Actor in a supporting role, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Robert De Niro, Sterling K. Brown, and Ryan Gosling for Barbie. Now, this is where the controversy comes into play. So people think that the Oscars snubbed Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie because they were not nominated for Best Director and Best Actress. So here's what I will say. Barbie was nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture, which if you've seen the movie, and I know you either hated it or you loved it, and I will say just like the whole movie itself, just visually and musically and how it was directed, it was a really beautiful movie, and I think it was very, very well done. And it's a movie that I would probably watch again, just aesthetic wise, maybe like a movie I'd put on in the background, very much a comfort movie. Like, it was a really good movie. So it did get nominated for costume design, which, yeah, the costumes were amazing. So it's not like it did not get nominated at all. I think where the issues come in is that the director, Greta, was not nominated for an Oscar for directing. And I think that was wrong because she directed it very, very, very well. And, you know, it has been mentioned and talked about many times how great her directing has been. And I agree that she directed the movie really, really well. I think she should have been nominated, and I don't agree with that. So I think she was snubbed. Now, on the other hand, people are upset because Margot Robbie did not get nominated for Best Actress. And this is where I agree, because if you look at the other actresses who were nominated, it's like, okay, so look at the other women who were nominated, and then like, who do you take away to put Margot Robbie in? Because compared to the other films and, you know, actresses in the leading roles, if you've seen these other movies and the actresses, they did do an amazing job, and they all deserve to be nominated for an Oscar. And Margot Robbie, while she is amazing and the movie was amazing, it's like, who would you take out of these 5 women to put her in? Because Barbie is nominated, and I think that with her, what I will say is that she was not nominated. Therefore, Ryan Gosling should never have been nominated for an Oscar for the role of Ken, because Barbie was way better than Ken. So that's why I'm like, they must have just like not had enough men to nominate for like the supporting role for his thing. But anyway, so Ryan Gosling called out them not getting nominated after the Oscars list came out. So he said in a statement, to say that I'm disappointed that they are not nominated in their respective categories would be an understatement. He said, there's no Ken without Barbie. There is no Barbie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, the 2 people most responsible for this history-making, globally celebrated film. And I will say, I totally agree that they made the movie what it is, and without them, it wouldn't be the movie. However, yes, the director, should have been nominated. Margot Robbie not being nominated, I'm okay with that, because it's not like the film itself didn't get nominated. What I'm more like, why would you nominate Ryan Gosling and not Margot Robbie? That's kind of where, like, if she wasn't nominated, he definitely shouldn't have been nominated. So I also think that people are still talking about this, and it's like, can we move on? Like, it's just the Oscars. It's an award. Like, they won awards at the other shows. They're probably going to win, hopefully, a couple others. So I say we just kind of let it go. So, you know, I think all the people coming out saying, like, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. Chill out. I think it's fine. I'm more so annoyed that Ryan Gosling got it nominated and not Margot Robbie. I think they both should have been nominated, and I think that Greta should have been nominated for Best Director. And that is where I will leave that. So Oscars are, I forget when they are, but March 10th. So we will see what happens with all of this. And I will be watching as well, especially the last award show I watched. That was so much fun to watch, like in person live as it was going on. So I would recommend. Oh, and they also are nominated for, or no, they're not. I thought Barbie was nominated for makeup and hairstyle, but I guess not. Oh, and yes, so the music, original song and movie, I'm Just Ken was nominated, and then the What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. And that's going to be interesting because I heard something that if he wins, he's going to have to perform I'm Just Ken at the Oscars. Now, let me just say, I love that song. It's a really catchy song. I find myself singing it all the time randomly. But you could tell he was like, what the heck? Why are y'all nominating me for this? So we'll see how the Oscars go. And no, he'd perform it at the Grammys if he wins, I believe. too many award shows. I can't keep up. Our next story. This one is crazy. When I saw a clip of this on TikTok, I was like, what the heck? So the Grand Ole Opry, which it's a very highly known, renowned, like very classy Grand Ole Opry. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like where a lot of country singers go and sing, and they're very well known. And so they were doing a Dolly Parton tribute for her birthday. And so they had different people there singing, and if this wants to load, that would be so amazing. So there was a video that started surfacing of Elle King, who sings Exits and the O's, and she was performing one of Dolly Parton's songs called Marry Me. And if you've seen the clip, she starts singing it, doesn't know the lyrics, and then she starts like cussing up a storm, saying like, I don't know the lyrics to this thing in this effing town. Don't tell Dolly because it's her birthday. And it was just so embarrassing. And she was with other people on the stage that were singing with her, and they were just kind of looking at her like, what the hell do we do? And it was just so embarrassing. And you could tell she was just like hammered. And apparently a lot of people have come out saying that she has to have some kind of substance problem, because she's always just like hammered at performances, and like this is like not okay to do this like at the Grand Ole Opry. So then the Grand Ole Opry literally comes out with a statement apologizing for Elle King, and like a literal building place comes out and like says like apologize. Like, that is unheard of. So they came out and basically just apologized for what happened, and said that we deeply regret and apologize for the language that was used. It was crazy that they came out with a statement after that. So then Elle King rescheduled her shows after all of the backlash she got from being hammered there. And I don't think she said anything. I think she just said her team or something that she's going to take a break after everything that happened. And then they were saying that they were going to give out refunds and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that is wild. That is not something that you want to have happen, of the literal Opry apologizing for you and what you did. So if you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It's literally everywhere. It's just embarrassing. And it's just like, have a little bit of class, like just you're performing, like just chill out for a night. Next, Tristan Thompson, probably one of, if not the most hated person that I know celebrity wise. I can't stand him. I think he is the worst. If you don't know, he was with Khloe Kardashian. He has a couple kids with her, and he's the worst. And I hate him, and he deserves every bad thing that happens to him. He literally had cheated on Khloe multiple times, and then the world didn't know before, but they were having a surrogate baby together, and then it came out that he literally cheated on her again and got another girl pregnant like while they were together. So he's just the worst. So anything that comes out bad about him, I am all for, because I can't stand him. So Tristan Thompson has been suspended by the NBA for 25 games because he supposedly tested positive for, I'm not going to pronounce this right, ibutamorin, which is a growth hormone, and then SARM something, which is used by bodybuilders and weightlifters. So you're not supposed to take drugs on the NBA, obviously. And so he was taking muscle enhancements, I guess steroids. So he is suspended for 25 games. And everyone was like, no surprise, cheats on Khloe and cheats on a drug test, probably cheats at Monopoly too. Yeah, so I just had to put it in there because he is the worst ever. Our next little story is about Coachella. So Coachella Festival is seeing their slowest ticket sales in 10 years. So way before, Coachella was like, that's where everyone wanted to go. I feel like tickets sold out like day of, blah, blah, blah. You could only buy, I think, 2 tickets in like when you would go to purchase. And now they're doing it where you can buy up to 8 tickets in a purchase, because they're still like, you can still, if you go online, I'm pretty sure, buy tickets for Coachella. And it's been like one of the nation's largest musical festivals. Like everyone hears about Coachella. I always wanted to go to Coachella, and it's just not getting as many ticket sales. And I think a big part of that is, you know, nowadays, and especially like the generations that would be going to this, I feel like they don't know any of the headliners, if that makes sense. Like I feel like when Coachella started out, it was like people who are now like in their 20s and 30s, and so when it comes to like the headliners, they probably don't know, and the headliners and people who would know them are probably too young to want to spend all that money, not only on tickets, but then to travel all the way out to the music festival, get a hotel. I'm like, it's just a lot. And I don't think they have any like super big headliners. You know, if it was like a Taylor Swift or like a Beyonce or like Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, like, yeah, of course. But I think, you know, going along with the headliners not being that great, like Stagecoach, that is already a wait list. And I was looking at the headliners, and it's like, that is why it is sold out. So 2024 Stagecoach in April. Let me pull up the list. So it's Eric Church, Jelly Roll, Elle King, LOL. I wonder if she'll go. Miranda Lambert, Post Malone, Willie Nelson, Morgan Wallen, Hardy, Bailey Zimmerman. So like those are headlining people, and that's going to draw, of course, all the crowds. And then you go to Coachella, which I feel like when Coachella first started, though, it wasn't like there was any headliners. It was just like a really fun place to go. It was kind of more like indie music, and like you would dress up, and it was like fun to do. And now in today's society, and the people that would be going, they probably like don't really understand. And I don't know, who knows? But also you have to think about, tickets are really expensive, and the economy right now, like no one has a ton of money to spend on everything. So I think that's also a big part of it. If you're not going to have a super huge headliner, then people aren't going to be spending thousands of dollars to do this. So Coachella lineup 2024, Bad Bunny, Blackpink, Frank Ocean, Calvin Harris, Rosalie. It's just like there's no one that's like in your face, like we need to get tickets to this. And also I feel like social media influencers who are going to Coachella started posting a lot about how awful their experience was. So I think there's a lot that has been going into it, and a lot of reasons why they're not experiencing a lot of sales. But I think a big thing is that there is not a super big headliner, and it's just expensive, and it's too much for people to do. However, if you want to send me a free ticket to go to Coachella, I'll be there. All right, our last story is about the movie Wicked. Wicked has officially finished shooting the film adaptation of the Broadway musical, and I have very high hopes for this movie, in the sense that I've seen Wicked on Broadway. I've seen Wicked at the Fox. I have seen Wicked so many times. I have a Wicked Broadway poster sitting right next to me. And to me, Wicked is probably the best Broadway show. The music, just everything about it is so amazing. And I've been hearing about, you know, the Wicked movie for so long now. And if it does not exceed and surpass my expectations and give me like all those goosebumps from just like the whole story and the shows and the songs, then I'm going to be very disappointed. So if this does not blow me away, I will be pissed, because it has to be good. Like, to do justice to the show, like they have to go all out. And it doesn't help that it's Ariana Grande who is Glinda, and I do not like Ariana Grande, especially after the whole thing where she stole Mr. SpongeBob from his wife with his children. And I don't like her, and I like, sorry, I just can't stand her. So it's going to be annoying watching her play Glinda, but hopefully they do it justice and it's an amazing movie and I'm proven wrong. But my expectations are very high, because they need to surpass my high expectations for this, because Wicked is amazing, and if the movie is not also amazing, then they wasted their time. So that is that. And those are our stories of the week. And now we finally have our TV recap back, which is The Bachelor. If you've not watched The Bachelor, get on it. It's on Mondays. I will be recapping every Saturday. I have not watched The Bachelor in a hot minute, or Bachelorette really, but something about this year, especially after I got to the Golden Bachelor, I was excited. So The Bachelor is Joey. If you haven't seen him yet, he is so sweet. and it could just be how they're portraying him, but you know, he seems like a really genuine, sweet guy. He has some videos that'll pop up on my TikTok, and he just seems he's nice to watch, in the sense that like his personality is really sweet, and he's not like a jerk that you're watching on TV every week. He's like, actually, you can tell, wants to find love and genuine and nice to all the girls. So he's an easy watch. And the opening though of the show, they're making it again where like the ending is something we've never seen before. And so to me, it ended and opened like they showed the ending of the show at the beginning of the show, and it basically looks like he didn't end up getting engaged and the girl that he was going to propose to left. I don't know if that's what happened. I haven't read spoilers or anything, but that's what I'm kind of getting at. I don't know if he actually got engaged. I think he might just be dating someone. I don't really know. We won't know unless you look up spoilers. But they had 32 women come on, and he actually was on Charity season. If you remember her, she was also on Dancing with the Stars. He proposed to Charity and she turned him down, which was so sad. I didn't realize he was on that, but I kind of took notes on some of the girls that piqued my interest, which I thought would be kind of fun. So Lexi from Atlanta, I wrote her down because she's from Atlanta, and I wrote down that she can maybe start some drama. So again, I don't remember who any of these girls are. I just like wrote notes as I was watching. Maria from Canada, I said she will be annoying. Yeah, so every time a girl would get out of the limo, they're always like cringy intros, but this season, for some reason, all of the girls, every single intro was just so cringy, and like I hated watching it, and I was like, I wish I could just skip through all of this, because these are just awful introductions. And like, I know that they always have to have a bit and make it kind of funny and cheesy, but it was just a very hard watch, and especially hard this season. Erica, I said, was kind of cute. Autumn, I loved. I think she's really cute. I think she will stay a long while. Kelsey A is so sweet, kind of gives Miley vibes. I think I remember what she looks like, because I think that she stayed out of all the drama. And you can always tell with The Bachelor, whatever kind of instrumental music they play, like with the girl, that's kind of how you can tell how they're going to be in the show. Like if they're playing like kind of funnier, like more upbeat, you can kind of tell that they're going to kind of be like a drama starter. But if they're playing like really sweet instrumental laid back music, like they're going to go far and be like a really sweet girl. So yeah, Kelsey A wasn't in any of the drama. Even if like the girls are like in a circle talking about it and one girl isn't talking about it, even if they're like in a scene where there's drama happening, that's not good. And any girl who has never been in the drama and is never recorded around the drama, they're going to go pretty far or just get sent home. But for the most part, if they have sweet music behind them and not in any drama conversation scenes, they're good to go. Allison will go far but not win, maybe cause drama. And I was corrected because she is sisters with Lauren. And then I said, what? I don't like Lauren. So Allison and Lauren, they are sisters who went on the show together apparently. And this comes out and they tell everyone. And I think that is so freaking weird. First of all, like sisters, I feel like never have the same taste in men. Maybe they do. Me and my sister are 3.5 years apart, so we've never had that issue. Our types are very different, and so the fact that they're on this together is so creepy to me. And then the younger sister ended up kissing him, and then the older sister watched it, and it was just like, it's so weird. Like, why do they have to do weird things like that? Kelsey T is sweet. Jen, I just said drama. Okay, Jess, who looks just like Hannah Brown, I wrote down, I thought it was Hannah Brown, but she's going way too fast and annoying. And then, yeah, so she was really, really, really annoying, and you can tell she's going to be the drama center of the show. They are going to be recording her and all the drama the whole season. She was really annoying. She, like, I could tell was hammered. She went up to him while he was talking to some other girl and she kissed him. It was just being really just like gross and like not classy, and just like, no, she's gonna cause drama, but she'll be a main character and probably stay pretty far. She kind of gives like Demi vibes in a way, but like, I don't know. Daisy will go far. I love her. I love Daisy. I've seen a lot of things about Daisy, so who knows. There was a girl named Leah. Apparently they met before the show. They met like on one of the like recap live shows, I guess, after The Bachelorette or something, or Golden Bachelor. And so she got given a card, and then she like came out of the limo and he was like, oh, I know you. First of all, that's so cringy to me that they brought someone on that he met before. I just don't like this whole situation, because I think that they're just going to keep her on just to make it interesting. So she had a card that said that she could steal a one-on-one date, and she basically like started crying about it because she doesn't want to like take anyone's one-on-one date. And I'm like, girl, chill out. And then she ended up like throwing it in the fire, and just like so for the TV. I don't like her. I just don't like her. I get weird vibes. I know they're portraying her as sweet and like the good girl for like throwing the card in the fire, but like she's gonna cause some issues or just be like really annoying. And then I wrote, why is he kissing everyone? Like, he was literally just kissing every single girl. I was like, chill out. And then Leah, of course, got the first rose. I just didn't like her. Like, I don't like the fact that she already met him before, and then it's kind of like she was like planted to be on the show, and I just don't like it. And then Maria, I said, may go far. They showed her a lot in the episode. She had a lot of like one-on-one time, so who knows what will happen. But that's what I wrote down so far. Autumn and Daisy, love. I feel like Maria might go pretty far. I don't know how long they'll keep the drama girls on. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be an exciting season because we have some good characters. Okay. All right. Our last section, we have our crazy story thought submissions. So thank you to everyone who wrote in for this. We have everyone that wrote in this week is pretty much like not a crazy story, just like advice they needed or like just thoughts that are in their head, which is totally fine. You can literally write in whatever. The link is in all the show notes. You can also go to my Instagram bio. It's an anonymous Google form. You can write down any crazy story that you've heard, any crazy story that's happened to you, any advice you need, any thoughts in your head. Just get it all out on there and we will read it on this podcast. So let's just jump into these so that I can go get my cake and do this photo shoot thing. Okay. Hi, Literally What Pod. I know that you recently got married and I need some help. Every time my significant other and I sleep in the same bed, it's textbook. He ends up taking off all of the covers. It's driving me insane. I literally pushed him off the bed a couple nights ago, but don't worry, our bed is like barely off the ground. LOL, I sound crazy, but at least this segment is anonymous. LOL, thanks in advance. You're right. This is anonymous, so you can literally say whatever you want. This is so funny to me because I will say, like, if you are not sleeping with two separate blankets and comforters in the same bed, like, what are you doing? You're not doing it right. Like, me and my husband have separate everything. We do not sleep under the same blankets. We do not sleep under the same comforter. It is separate, and that is the only way to do it. So everyone, you and your significant other, get separate blankets and comforters. Like, why are we still doing this? Especially like I like my feet out and like he has too much body. It's just like you need two separate blankets. So that's what I will say to you. People who aren't doing this, what are you doing? Get with it. So that is my advice to you for sure. That's like an easy fix. Maybe don't push them off the bed, but like I totally get in the middle of the night, like I can't imagine sharing comforters and him taking it from me. So that's what I would say to you. It'll be a game changer. I still make the bed in the morning and like make it look all cute, like with one comforter and blanket, but like, no, it's so two-sided on the bed. So that is the best thing I can say. Okay, our next submission. This is like so poetically written. So whoever wrote this in is like, good for you. This is kind of like interesting. So they start out, I'll just read it, I guess, in whole. Isn't it crazy how quickly your role in a story can change depending on who tells it? People who don't like you People who don't like you or have been hurt by you tell it, and then you're the villain. But people who love you and know your heart and intentions behind your actions, the other person is the villain. So whether or not each party really was wrong or right, it was just a giant miscommunication. How do you feel about judging people based on having one side of the story? And do you think people should be open to hear both sides before judging someone? So this is interesting because, first of all, there's always two sides to the story. There's always two ways that two people portrayed the same situation, and whether they're right or wrong, the people are always going to misconstrue and view whatever happened in their own way. So for me, it's interesting because this is hard because it really depends on who you're closest to in the situation. That's who you're going to like listen to their side of the story. And I don't necessarily think you need to judge someone without hearing both sides. However, it's pretty much like whoever you're most loyal to, like that's the side you're going to hear. I feel like it never happens where you actually end up hearing both sides. But for me, I go into it like, say two of my friends were having like something was going on, or like my girlfriend and her boyfriend are like going through something, like I'm pretty much only going to hear the person I'm closest to side of the story. And a lot of times you have to go into it not thinking that everyone's bad, but no one's ever going to tell their side of the story and paint themselves in a bad light and the other person in a good light. Like at the end of the day, they're going to talk good about themselves and make them look good in the story, unless it's like a cut and dry, like this happened. But I feel like just in any situation, there's always going to be two sides, and you just have to take everything someone tells you with a grain of salt and know that you were not there, so you're never going to know 1000% what happened, and just know that not everyone is going to tell you exactly what happened. They're going to try to make themselves look a little bit better. So I don't think that you need to necessarily judge someone. I think just hear your friends or boyfriend's side of the story, and obviously like loyalty through and through to like your people, but just take everything with a grain of salt and know that, you know, it happened, there's two sides, and kind of move on from that. I think if people want to hear both sides of the story, of course, like listen to both sides and then make your own opinion, but I just feel like that's not realistic, and typically you're not going to be able to hear two sides of the story, and you're just going to hear this side of the story of the person that you're closest to. So I don't know if that helped, but I do believe that majority of the time there's two sides, and two people can look at one situation in totally different ways and may fully believe that what happened is right. So, all right, our last submission, they say, hey, love your podcast. Thank you. This is more of a topic I'm interested in. How does someone find their tribe of women? I have two women I know I could lean on without a doubt, but it's just kind of hard to reach out to them. We always see friend groups hanging out, having girls' nights and vacations, or having those deep connections that I feel like we all want, whether they found them in high school or in college. I'm a new mom who's doing online college and work full time. It's been hard to find those women's women, if that makes sense. I tried to trust an old friend of mine. She ended up telling people my drama instead, and most of the close friends I have had ended up trying to get with whatever man I was interested in. Gosh, these women suck. Except for the two I mentioned above who are pretty solid. It's just kind of ruined how I look at women. I'm not perfect either. I've changed a lot, can't stand drama now, and I'm pretty happy. So what are your thoughts? First of all, I think society and social media puts way too much pressure on having to have this big group of girls and do all these crazy cool things. In reality, you really only need a few really good friends, and it's not realistic to have all these big groups of friends, because like for me, I lived in Georgia, all my best friends pretty much are in Georgia, and I moved down to Florida. So for me to be posting and doing all these things with groups of girls all the time, it's not realistic for me, because we all work full time. We all have our own people. We're all like either married or dating someone or have kids or like just are on different paths of life. So you can't look at social media and other people and be like, I wish I had that, because a lot of times it's just like the one time a year that they get together and like, or you know. So I think it's hard, especially as you get older, because everyone's going to be living their life so differently. And so I think it's important to just find the people that you do trust and really just go all in and try to find those times to meet up, and know that it's okay to not have a huge group of friends, because I've been in groups of tons of girls, and it's just like, it's not realistic to have these big groups of girls, because there's always going to be drama. There's always going to be people who feel left out, and just find those groups of people, well, not groups, but like few people that you really can rely on, and also have acquaintances, but know who's in your inner circle and who to really trust. Now, as for finding friends, especially like when I moved down to Florida, like I miss my friends all the time. It's so hard not being able to just be so close to them. I will say I would download Bumble BFF, and that sounds so stupid, but it's basically Bumble but for finding friends. So like I made a profile and then I filled it all out. You know, I just moved to Florida with my husband and I added a ton of pictures. I filled out all the typical stuff you would in a dating profile, and I've met so many fun girls. You literally like swipe left and right. Like it's like a dating app, but it's for friends. And I've actually met like a ton of people that like I've, you know, added on like Snapchat, Instagram, and like you plan to hang out and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but you have all these people that you kind of find that are in the same areas you'd maybe interested in the same things as you. So that's a lot of fun. That's a way that I have personally met people that are just around me. Another thing is like if you go to church, joining a small group is always a great way, whether it's just like a women's group or if you want to do it like with your husband to find couple friends. And really just like you have to get out there, whether that's like going to a class or like a gym class or just something to get out of your house, because if you're not getting out, you're not going to meet new people. Also, like if you have people that you grew up with and like maybe you just kind of like as you got older grew farther apart, like maybe reach back out to them and just see, because even though you might live far away, you can still keep relationships, and then like plan maybe like yearly or twice a year trips just to like kind of get together with people. I think that we shouldn't let distance, like just let friendships and like relationships kind of fizzle out, and just like know that social media and people portray their lives in a very different way, and so it's okay to not have these huge groups of friends, because it's a lot. It's hard to keep up with a ton of people. So I would just say find your like girl group of 1, 2, 3, 4, however many it may be, and just know that having really good, loyal, true friends is a lot more fulfilling and will help you in the long run in your life than having like a bunch of just like kind of acquaintances that really don't care about you and just want the big group picture. I'm literally like glitching. Big group picture. So yeah, I guess that's my advice. It is hard though, but just, you know, give yourself time. Just because you're not in high school anymore doesn't mean you can't meet so many more amazing people. So thank you guys for writing in. Thank you everyone for listening to my birthday podcast. As your birthday gift to me, please go follow the Instagram. It's literally with 2 Y's, what with 2 T, or is it literally with 3 Y's, what with 2 T's? It's all going to be linked below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I upload all of my videos every single week. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. Make sure to write in. Literally, as you can tell today, you can write about anything. It's really just for you guys to kind of write in anything crazy or anything on your mind. If you need advice, whatever you want. I love you guys seriously so much. This has been so much fun. January is almost to an end. Don't give up on your resolutions. Keep going strong, just because we are almost done with the month of January. If you were doing dry January or anything like that, it's the last weekend before you can go all out and go ham and go crazy. But make sure you're drinking your water, everyone. So yeah, I'm gonna go get my cake out, get on my dress, and go take these photo shoot pics that probably will turn out sucky, but that's what good editing is for. Yeah, love you guys so much, and I will see you next week for some more hot gossip, hot take, stories, and advice. I love you so much.